Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining me today on Stay Free with Russell Brand. Well done for waking up. I know how difficult it is to be in this world. You may yet be elated, for amidst the blizzard, Trump did ascend. Many of you will have expected, of course, that Trump would have succeeded in Iowa, but it was a total success, and it has, of course, preceded a total legacy media meltdown. We're going to be talking about both those things. We're going to be talking about Vivek's departure. We will be covering in some detail, and I'm going to let you know this if you're watching us on YouTube, because you know Dr. John Campbell's content's been taken down. We'll be looking at Disease X. What is Disease X? What is the plan for Disease X? Why are we being prepped for Disease X? And is it more likely that the laboratories that are currently working on solutions for Disease X will come up with a solution or cause a lab leak? 1 for solution, 2 for lab leak. I'm talking to those of you in the Rumble chat and you Awakened Wonders that continually support our content, that are part of this movement, and as a result get access to 1 additional and exclusive video a week, as well as early access to much of our content. And I'm looking now at Trucker Hershey, I'm looking now at Scott Blight, and all of you saying that the research will lead to a further lab leak. And who can condemn that kind of skepticism and cynicism, living in a world that we currently live in, where escalating war is being normalized, whether it's the conflict in the Yemen, where there is ongoing propaganda and a refusal by the legacy media to accept their own culpability in the increasing popularity of Donald Trump. And let me know, has his popularity ever been higher? No Republican has ever won a contested caucus by more than 12.8%. Trump broke the record and won by 30%, winning all 99 counties. We've got, what does that look like? Trump 51%, Haley 19%. I think that's the order. DeSantis came second in the end. They've misspelt Vivek Ramaswamy, and what a departure that is. Now, have any of you seen the legacy media reporting on this subject? They refused to show Trump's victory speech. And we did a poll actually asking, is that because Trump's victory speech might be so dangerous that, this could be such dangerous misinformation that to broadcast it would be irresponsible? I mean, maybe we're being irresponsible right now, even discussing Donald Trump. Maybe, if you had some institutions that people respected, if you had a deep state that cared about American people rather than continually creating opportunities to bring them down, if you didn't have a military-industrial complex forever provoking and advocating for new war, if you didn't have a legacy media that amplified and conveyed nothing but the interests of the powerful while censoring and surveilling ordinary people and opposing and dissenting voices, maybe we wouldn't all be in the thrall of a man who knows how to stand behind a microphone. Here's the legacy media's analysis in the form of Rachel Maddow. Let's take a look.
I'm sorry, I just have to do a little bit of business just for a second. At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech.
It's Donald Trump. Can you not say his name? The projected winner, he that cannot be named. It's not Voldemort. He's not a Lord of Darkness that just the utterance of the word Trump on MSNBC. Suddenly, liberals are putting down their coffee cups and they're putting down their comfortable views. They're embracing the idea of emergent populism. Now, this level of hysteria is extraordinary, particularly when you look at the preceding administration, i.e. Obama preceded Trump, Biden followed Trump. Remember the cages and the condemnation. These children are being placed in cages on the border. Who built those cages? Who built those cages? Obama. Remember the condemnation of a wall. He wants to build a wall. Donald Trump wants to build a wall. Who's continuing to build that wall? Biden. So is this hysteria justified? Is it justified? Not even saying his name. Not even allowing him to speak. This is a free speech platform. The reason that we're on Rumble is because we believe in free speech. And what is the point of free speech? It's to unite us. It's to elevate us. It's to create the possibility of genuine opposition, decentralized but unified against the establishment. Not hate speech. Oh, people are slightly different. I don't care. You don't care. You don't care about other people's freedom. You care about your own freedom. If you're granted your freedom, allow people to live however they want. Is that what they want on the legacy media? Who built built the cages, Joe. I am Steve Reno. Said that on the Rumble chat. I'm saying hello to Firegirl 2020 and Maximatitis 444 and all of our supporters over there on Locals, our awakened wonders who get early access to much of our content and exclusive access to some of it. Let's have a look at the rest of Rachel Maddow's analysis of misinformation, disinformation, and their peculiar refusal to show Trump's speech. Did any of you see it? It was the sweetest thing I've ever seen.
We will keep an eye on that as it happens. We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything noteworthy, something substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform.
And that's because when people watch that stuff, people kind of like him, and it's very difficult when we have as our own candidate for the ongoing presidency a waxen, cadaverous zombie who looks like he's been scooped up from the tomb, shoved from the sepulchre, and into the polling booths. This is all the more extraordinary because of the candidate we're being invited to vote for, because of the lack of acknowledgement and admission of the failings of the establishment, the institution, the historic Democrat Party, the failings of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, 2008. None of that stuff ever analysed or questioned with the level of scrutiny that they'll apply to every syllable and metaphor uttered by Donald Trump, and it's not working, and they cannot stand it.
To remarks by former President Trump, it is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things.
Right. Who among you, I'm talking to you if you're watching this on YouTube right now, I'm talking to you if you're watching this on Locals, I'm talking to you if you're watching it on Rumble, or wherever we have proliferated our content in order to grow this movement. When you hear a member of the MSNBC legacy media state amplification propagandist unit saying, we cannot convey misinformation, do you not see the sudden phantom of Rachel Maddow saying, if you take this thing, it stops. The virus stops. You can watch that now on anti-misinformation platform YouTube. Right now, Google it. No, don't. Stay watching us. But put in there, Rachel Maddow, vaccine, and what will come up is Rachel Maddow telling you that the vaccine is effective against transmission, that it's effective against hospitalization, that it's effective. These are all things that we know are not true. What about Russiagate? This is extraordinary. It's not an absolute condemnation of misinformation. It's a condemnation of information that may lead to you losing trust in the establishment. And later on, you will hear Rachel Maddow's fears about authoritarianism. But it's not authoritarianism full stop. It's authoritarianism that is in opposition to the agenda of the globalist establishment, because authoritarianism when it comes to censoring your speech, that's fine. Authoritarianism when it comes to surveilling you, taxing you, using your money to go to war right now in the Yemen against the Houthi. There, you better believe the Houthi is the right name for them, isn't it? Because I didn't know who they were about 3 hours ago. But now the Houthis, I'm supposed to get it up for another war against some poor people somewhere. This will not be adequately or eloquently covered by the legacy media. They will simply continue to advocate for their masters in the war machine and then wonder why someone with a jot of charisma can be elevated to landslide status in the Iowa caucus.
That is a fundamental truth of our business and who we are. And so his remarks tonight will not air here live. We will monitor them and let you know about any news that he makes.
Also, they make him sound more and more powerful. He might make some news. He might make some. Look at that sort of war, like he sings it into existence, like some vibrating orb of pure consciousness, creating reality from the prakriti prima materia of reality. Consciousness itself preceding material reality, all of the objects and apparent separation emanating from a singular unitary source. We can't show him. There's just too much truth. Let's have a look at our friends Michael Schellenberger from Public and Max Blumenthal from Grey Zone, who have both been posting on this. The only thing funnier than MSNBC refusing to cover an election winner is Russiagate hoaxer Rachel Maddow condemning the practice of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. Our friend Schellenberger. Both CNN and MSNBC carried the entirety of the speech by DeSantis after openly refusing to carry the speech by Trump, even though Trump won a landslide landslide with 51% against DeSantis is 21%. You know these numbers by now. It's madness. CNN and MSNBC are flagrantly embracing their role as propagandists. And this speech, this terrifying speech, do you want to see it? Do you think you're ready? Do you think you can handle the truth? Get ready for the elixir of language. Get ready for the sweet melodies so refined and divine they could be coming from a Gaelic harp or the pipe of Lord Krishna himself, for this is a vibrational frequency that will take you to another dimension. Here it comes. Get ready. If you're watching on YouTube, hang on to your hats, put your fingers in your ears, lock up your chickens and your every bit of livestock you've got, because here comes a person offering a polite speech.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all.
You're thanking the people of Iowa. Oh no, oh no. Armed rebellion. A man politely thanking the electorate.
What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together.
He's asking people to come together. No, oh no, it's nearly a John Lennon lyric. Come together. If he says right now over me, I'm out, baby. I'm out.
Together. Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world. And
no, don't straighten out the world. I want a war in Yemen. I want a war in Ukraine. I want a war in China and Iran again. I want war. More. Look at this thing. He's just a kind of man with his sons flanking him saying, it's time we come together, Democrats, Republicans. It's the sweetest, politest thing, more statesmanly. And when you think of the alternative, remember, I think the whole system and the whole establishment needs radical alteration, decentralization, and that power should be close to you, that your individual sovereignty, your freedom to become who you are is more important than any of the atrophying systems of corruption that dominate global politics. That's my particular position. But I do not think the solution that they're so vociferously advocating for, Joe Biden staring out baffled from his own face like a chick emerging from a cracked egg, is a viable alternative to this terrifying speech.
Straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going
to happen soon. Coming together. Oh, that's good. That'd be nice.
Happen soon. I want to congratulate Ron and Nikki for having
Oh, he's not going to thank the other candidates, is he? Wait, where's the button? Where's the drop switch? Get this thing off the air right now. Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll be available for about another 8-9 minutes or so. Then we'll be exclusively on the free stream itself, the stream that is Rumble. If you're not an Awakened Wonder yet, become an Awakened Wonder. You get exclusive access to one in-depth video per week, early access to much of our content, including our interviews with brilliant, real, legit journalists, people like Glenn Greenwald, Matt Taibbi, Whitney Webb. We're recording, I think, tomorrow or the next day, and we're going to be asking a lot of questions about the island.
A good time together. We're all having a good time together.
They're having a good time together at a caucus where people came out in the snow and voted for various candidates. Now, listen, it is with regret. Think of that compared to the pomposity and piety available to you on MSNBC. Now, we've thought about this long and hard, and we can't show Donald Trump in case he does some news. He might do some news at you, and even worse than that, he could do some fake news. And I'm not talking about fake news like the vaccines are effective and work. I'm not talking about fake news like he's peeing all over hookers. I'm talking about fake news like the system is corrupt, and you do genuinely need to galvanize and organize against this kind of banalized bureaucratic tyranny that is being advocated for and amplified by the legacy media.
And I think they both actually did very well. I really do. I think they both did very well. We don't even know what the outcome of second place is. And I see Carrie Lake.
That wasn't even a joke, was it? It was just being nice.
Congratulations, Carrie. Very good. I spotted her, I have to announce, because she's terrific. She's going to be a senator, a great senator, I predict, right? You're going to be a great senator. And I also want to congratulate Vivek because he did a hell of a job. He came from 0, and he's got a big percent, probably 8%, almost 8%, and that's an amazing.
The idea that the legacy media think that you would not be able to watch that, I mean, it's astonishing, isn't it? It was just, what could anybody say? The problem is that they've lost you. They've lost you forever. You cannot trust them. You don't trust them. You'll never trust them again. Curiously, the Vivek story is one of the interesting aspects of this because it's just a couple of days ago that what did Donald Trump say? Very sly, very sly. He kind of took Vivek away at the knees there for a moment when I figure, and let me know in the chat what you guys think, that he was working out, hang on, what Vivek Ramaswamy is doing is he's recognizing that the Republican Party establishment is backing Nikki Haley or maybe Ron DeSantis, and if Trump isn't on the ballot because of the endless flurry of indictments, then I will inherit the mantle. I mean, this is pretty obvious analysis, I suppose, isn't it, of the anti-establishment Republican candidate. But Donald Trump didn't like that, did he? And he just sort of went, very sly, it's sly. And there's something about, Donald Trump's use of language. He's very efficient, isn't he? He sort of knows where to land that bullet. And now Vivek is out of the race, and he likes him again now. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
Amazing job. They all did. They're all very smart people, very capable people. And to all of the people standing behind me and all of the people in this room and so many great politicians and great dignitaries and friends, I just want to thank you all. This is a very special night. And this is the first, because the big night is going to be in November, when we take back our country, and truly, we do make our country great again. Thank you very much, everybody. Great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Motown. Oh no, what are we going to do? Help. So listen, we did a poll earlier. Let's have a look at that. Why are MSNBC not broadcasting Trump? Is it danger of misinformation, or is it danger of Trump becoming more popular? An astonishing 96% of you thought it was the latter. Here are some of your comments. This is over on YouTube, where I hope you guys will join us in a second. Salt and Light Seeker, is Russell a Freemason? No, I'm not a Freemason. I think you have to wear a little apron and stuff. No disrespect if you are Freemasons. I hope you're having a great time with that. Misinformation. We will tell you what information you get instead of being able to make decisions for yourself. Sydney Ferret Pie. He's already won it, and they know it. They don't broadcast him, but they cover him 24/7, says someone. You see what they did to Vivek? Started mocking him and belittling him just because he dropped out. 5 of their hosts in a panel making fun of him, saying he'll maybe have a Fox show soon. MSNBC is just a low-grade podcast. Wow. It's an interesting comment on the state of the media right there. Let's have a look at Vivek's announcement. Oh, the entire campaign is about speaking the truth. We did not achieve our goal tonight. We need an America First candidate. Donald Trump and I will do everything I can to support him. I'm enormously proud of the team and the country. Should we have a look at a bit of his speech? You want to see that?
And I'm also making the decision that this has to be an America First candidate in that White House. As I've said since the beginning, there are 2 America First candidates in this race. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory, and now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country.
Oh, there he goes. Hey, Vivek's been on the show a couple of times, and we've enjoyed talking to him a great deal. Certainly, he's a modern politician who understands the modern dynamics and how to communicate. MSNBC are not treating Vivek with very much respect at all. If you're watching us over on YouTube, we're going to be available for another couple of minutes. Then we'll be exclusively available on Rumble, advocating for your individual for sovereignty and freedom and community democracy and the dismantling of centralized establishment interests and institutions across the world and across the nation. Let's have a look at MSNBC criticizing Vivek with a lot of supercilious haughtiness.
We have had the field shrink yet again tonight. Vivek Ramaswamy will never again grace our television screens as a presidential candidate. David Plouffe, are you shocked with the Trump endorsement that apparently went along with his bowing out?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'd like his total number of votes must have been what, 8,000, 10,000,
something like that.
Think about that. All that time, going to all the counties twice, all the money. Remarkable.
Yeah, but the podcast,
Just remember in this orgy of self-congratulatory commentary that Joe Biden is cancelling primaries wherever they are possible, refusing to debate RFK, who's having to run as an independent now, would have loved to have run as a Democrat. Impossible. Refusing to debate Marianne Williamson, refusing to stand it. So again, while they glory in the inconsistencies and perceived inadequacies of their opponents, they will not analyze or even acknowledge their own inferiorities, failings, and flaws. And that's what makes them impossible to believe, impossible to embrace, identifiable as a mouthpiece, an amplification project for the globalist establishment. Other than that, I can't see what they're doing.
David.
Yeah.
He's going to have. Oh, he does have there's a podcast.
And he might have a Fox show.
A lot of you saying Vivek should be VP over there. I know a lot of you have been reached by his criticism of the reporting around Jan 6th, some of the risks he took around 9/11, and his passion and willing to confront people on the stand. Can people like, I'm saying, Nikki Haley? Should we have a look at? Let's have a look at Nikki Haley saying that it's a 2-horse race, but she wasn't second, was she? She was third. Don't say it's a 2-horse race if you're third, because, I mean, where are you? Which horse are you exactly?
I can safely say tonight, Iowa made this Republican primary a 2-person race.
What? But you want one of the 2 people. Let's have a look at Trump commenting on Joe Biden. And again, always try to hold in your mind like a mandala the near spectre, the almost ghostly apparition of Joe Biden, a person who it's difficult to believe has the stones or the juice for the next 5 years to carry the mantle of the most powerful person in the world, to navigate the complex territories that will surely emerge in diplomatic and indeed militaristic relationships with China, Russia, the constant economic crisis, disease X. Think of the global challenges that we're likely to confront and whether or not Joe Biden is fit to handle them. If he is, type Y in the chat. If not, type N in the chat. I'm talking to you, SuBiz22, Synchronicity 525, Shoalfella Steph, all of you lot in our Awaken Wonder chat, and ChatterX and America Sun and TZ76 Patriot and Mooseman18. Let me know. Here's Trump on Biden in his speech. He did have a little bit of the old school Trump absurdity, acerbicness, rather as opposed to the sort of conciliatory tone we saw elsewhere. This definitely is, I would say, Trump is observing the emergent and rising popularity of RFK. And I feel like we're seeing a new, more statesmanly Trump, except on the subject of Biden. Check this.
So I don't want to be overly rough on the president, but I have to say that he is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country.
Difficult. I don't want to be rough, but he's the worst in the history of the country. What could you say that's worse than that?
Destroying our country.
Amazing, astonishing, incredible. Now, again, one of the areas that we are fascinated by is the constant maintenance of the idea that it is emergent MAGA populism that represents the greatest threat to your freedom in the United States of America, that poses the greatest threat to world peace, in spite of the fact that we've already had Trump as a president for 4 years and there were no additional wars, and indeed many economic and social factors were pretty consistent with the preceding administration, and not a great deal has changed subsequently. Certainly many of you think things have deteriorated, and yet it is extremism that defines much of the legacy media reporting on this subject. Let's have a look. This is interesting. This is where I do agree with Rachel Maddow. In fact, she says that Trump is running against politics, essentially running against the establishment. But what does that tell you when an anti-establishment candidate gains more and more popularity the more that he is condemned, even through the judiciary, even as the accumulating condemnation threatens to swamp and indeed would ensnare any other candidate? Trump's potency appears to rise. I think fueled by the justified loathing of the establishment, fueled by our shared mistrust of these institutions. But this is one piece of analysis that I do agree with.
And the big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country, if we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potential.
See, when we talk about fascism and authoritarianism and democracy, when a candidate won't run in any primaries, when you have pervasive surveillance and a censorship industrial complex threatening to shut down free speech, when you've just had a pandemic where true, open, honest, sincere, scientifically verifiable information was shut down and censored, when you've had the Hunter Biden laptop story where they admitted, the CIA admitted that we censored that information or advocated for its censorship at least because we thought it might affect the results of the election. You saw that, right? We all saw that here. When you have disease X lingering like a future fart held in an old man's bowel as a new threat on the horizon, knowing that it will ultimately be used to legitimize more expenditure, more authoritarianism, where is the authoritarianism now? What does dictatorship look like in 2024? Of course, they always use the sort of strongman argument. They still live in the kind of echo of ideas of military leaders such as Mussolini or Hitler or Pol Pot, continually claiming that Trump is part of that lineage. As the brilliant writer Martin Gurri pointed out, you can't have military dictators of that style unless they have some kind of control over a paramilitary organization or a significant wing of the American military or the army. Donald Trump does not have paramilitaries at Mar-a-Lago. That's not what they're doing there. They are not armed and dangerous. They're having little drinks with umbrellas in them and playing golf, I suspect. So this kind of hysteria is, I think, unwarranted and is in a sense the only game they have left. All they have is the continued amplification of that condemnation, because they're never going to say, we're going to offer you a viable alternative because we're not owned by the donor class, we're not corrupt globalists, we are here to represent American people. They can never say that because it's not true, and it's unlikely ever to be true again.
Potentially fascist form of government. The leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. But people wanting that is a much bigger part of that equation.
Right. To see the rest of this and that, start the countdown right now. We've got some fantastic stuff coming up. We've got Dr. Joseph Lombardo, him out of Florida, right, talking about disease X and its likely escalation, or more importantly, its utilization, because we don't know what disease X is yet, but we do know that there's some extraordinary planning going on. And we're going to continue this analysis of legacy media coverage of the Iowa events. There's a countdown on the screen now. If you're watching us on YouTube, click the link in the description and join us. We want you in our movement. We welcome you in our movement. We must join together. Stay free, but get over to Rumble and join us right now. Now,